Brooklyn Independent Television.
Formed in Red Hook in 2005 by some amazing musicians who share a passion for classic jazz, the Red Hook Ramblers is this larger-than-life six-piece ensemble with an eclectic repertoire that encompasses a wide range of styles, from early jazz and blues to ragtime and spirituals.
We started playing at an apartment. My friend Marshall, who played clarinet in the band, his apartment was on Van Brunt in King Street. So we were just a bunch of friends that were getting together and playing in his kitchen, so we thought we ought to name the band after, where we started. One day Marshall said we should just go down and play at the bar, so we came down here to Sonny's. Instead of jamming in his kitchen, we just decided to start playing out. And so I think having fun has always been what the band is about. I started playing the trumpet in 6th grade. I started playing again in 2005 when I started the Red Hook Ramblers. We both just loved early jazz and blues, and we decided to try to play it.
It's great being in this band. I mean, everybody is really laid back and relaxed, but they're also very, very talented musicians. We play a lot around the city. It's just great because we can count on each other. Everyone is like a really nice person in addition to being a great musician, so it's a pleasure to play with them. My grandfather played the trombone, so when I was around 11 years old, I tried the trombone. I had a little bit of aptitude for it. Before he passed away, he actually gave me his old trombone, which is the trombone I play now in this band, and it actually is a vintage instrument from the same time as the music that we're playing was made.
I play the piano and the banjo, and I got to know these guys through a bandmate of mine in another band, the Deedle Deedle Dees. Struck up a relationship with these guys, and that's it. I was always into Fats Waller. That was my music. Then I got into rock and roll and the Beatles and funk, and I think they're all related anyway, all those styles. Just kind of came together for me, but I still stayed close to that old-timey music.
In a taxi, baby, must be ready about 8:30. Now, dearie, don't be late. I want to be there when the band starts playing. Remember when we get there, sugar. For 2 steps, I'm gonna have them all. I'm gonna dance on both of my shoes when they play that Jelly Roll Blues. Tomorrow night at the Dogtown Strutters Ball.
The time they hear this music is on really old, scratchy recordings, which I find to be great, but they lack a lot of the dynamism that people are used to with modern recordings. So they hear us playing live, and they're kind of overwhelmed by just the power that the music can have and just how much fun it is.
Playing with them was my exposure to traditional jazz music. I mean, the first jazz I listened to was more like Miles Davis, Stan Getz, Hank Mobley, that kind of thing. So you sort of start in maybe late 50s, early 60s, and then a little later you start wondering, like, there must have been something before this, and then you start moving your way backward and learning about the roots where everything came from.
People respond to this stuff really well. It's kind of a weird confluence of music that's really familiar to Americans in general. Like, you hear it in movies sometimes, or it's just sort of around, but there's not a lot of people really doing it live these days.
I enjoy playing the music with the Ramblers because it kind of makes me feel like I'm connecting with an older type of music in addition to all the other kinds of music I play, so it's fun to play an older style.
Red Hook as a neighborhood, it has a kind of a weird aesthetic for New York. It's really kind of run down in an aesthetic kind of way. I describe it to people as kind of the New Orleans of Brooklyn, because it's kind of like that. I mean, I used to live here for a couple of years. It's got a really crappy transportation infrastructure, but it's also really pretty, and it's on the water, and it's secluded and isolated, and the community is sort of a thing unto itself. So I think it definitely, that kind of aesthetic lends itself to a sort of obscure and Luddite kind of way of making music.
Whenever we play here at Sonny's, we always feel like we're back at home. It's always a really good feeling. There's a lot of history here, and so in a way that's kind of what our band is about. We always play acoustically, we try to avoid microphones. We like to be in touch with the people that we're playing for. We like to be a community kind of band. And I think we've carried that even beyond Sonny's. Whenever we play out, I think people kind of get that sort of down-home feeling, you know, and put a lot of smiles on people's faces.
Follow us on Twitter at BK Independent TV.